What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Rollo88 coming at you live and in the flesh. And Dr. Sockenstein is here as well. Today, me and Dr. Sockenstein wanted to talk to you guys. Coming at you live and in the cotton. Yeah, Dr. Sockenstein. We wanted to talk to you guys about BCCI Bank, which is the Bank of Credit and Commerce International. Bank of Credit and Commerce International? Is that what you said, Rollo88? Yeah, Dr. Sockenstein, that's right. So, Ronald Reagan originally used the BCCI to run guns to Saddam Hussein and finance Osama bin Laden and also set up the Iran-Contra deal. You mean like that video game Contra where you run around and shoot the guys on the thing with the spreader? Yeah, just like that, Dr. Sockenstein. Anyways, George Bush Sr. In 1988, well, actually, hold on. Alright, so Reagan funded Hussein and bin Laden, right? We know that. And George Bush Sr. was dealing with a lot of that in 1988. But George Bush Jr. ended up owning his dad's company, Arbusto Energy, and then Arbusto was absorbed by Harkin Energy. And then in 1988, Harkin Energy gained an investor called Salam bin Laden, which was Osama bin Laden's half-brother. And Osama couldn't have invested because he was too busy forming Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda? Whoa! Yeah, exactly, pretty much. But the way that BCCI, the Bank of Credit and Commerce International, was set up was a Ponzi scheme. They would disingenuously take people's money, and they did this until they racked up $9.5 to $15 billion. And they would do this through governments, actually. They would go through and through legislation and other things, and yeah, they would just basically control commerce, hence the name. And so yeah, anyways, what ended up happening with all this was, let me see here. Oh, yeah. So the BCCI was the brainchild of British intelligence. It was a British agency originally. And they would force politicians to play ball with them through things like drugs, drug wars, arms dealing, and terrorism. Terrorism? What's that? That's when people go crazy and hurt each other and kill each other, which the Bible says not to do. Oh, I see. Exactly, Dr. Sockenstein. But anyways, this ended up taking away a lot of freedom from a lot of countries. It even affected American freedom. Because it was a Ponzi scheme, and all the profits being made were going to BCCI. And we were basically slaves to oil and banking. Iraq had what's known as food for oil. We were giving the people of Iraq food so that we could go over and take their oil. And that was the arrangement that we had with them. And it wasn't bad enough that Saddam Hussein was killing his people using nerve gas agents on them. Then they had U.S. People giving them food for oil. So we were dealing with Saudi Arabia and Iraq and trying to get as much oil as we could. You know, that American imperialism that we love so much. So anyways, yeah, that kept going for a while. And so they got around $15 billion. And then, you know, they decided that they should investigate this BCCI bank. So they appointed Robert Mueller to investigate. He investigated Noriega, Gotti, the BCCI bank. And isn't that weird? That's the guy who's now investigating Trump for Russian ties that they can't find. Funny how that works, isn't it? You would think that they would get somebody else besides Robert Mueller who investigated BCCI to investigate Trump, but I guess they're just being blatantly obvious with it. So anyways, we keep going. know that Henry Kissinger, he's a 94-year-old German guy. He's quoted as saying a leader should take their people from one point to a place they haven't been before, which is kind of strange, if not unsettling. But I don't know. He was a guy that was really all about power, very hungry for power and everything like that, which a lot of them are. But there's a clear difference between accountability and power, by the way. Accountability is doing the right thing, and power is basically doing the wrong thing and getting away with it. So anyways, Ben Mahfouz was another of the Al-Qaeda that was involved with this. And as I mentioned earlier, the oil for food project thing. Right, so then we lead up to, let's see, the timeline to September 11th. Okay, so on August 11th, George Bush Jr. was briefed by a CIA briefer who told him that there would be a big attack coming soon, probably Al-Qaeda related, probably terrorist related, and that it was probably going to hit the United States on domestic soil soon. And George Bush told the CIA, giving the brief, or the guy giving the brief, hey, you've covered your ass now. So he told him that, you know, he's like, you've covered your ass. So if anything happens, you know, you don't have to worry about it because you told me. And then I guess that means it's Bush's fault because he didn't do anything about it either. So anyways, a few days later, on August 14th, Condoleezza Rice was actually told there would be an attack as well. And she failed to act on August 14th. So Rice did nothing on August 14th. So that's another thing to add to the timeline. And then on August 17th, the CIA director, George Tenet, visits Bush. And Bush didn't mention anything to him about a terror attack, about terrorists in planes or hijacking airplanes. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened, Dr. Sockenstein. And anyways, so then you move on, and Zacharias Mussol, to George Tenet, CIA director, learned about Zacharias Mussol, who was one of the hijackers of the plane on 9/11, and it said, "Extremists learn to fly," was the headline that he was fed. So here we see the CIA director pretty much failing to act on the information that he was given. So now we have the CIA not doing anything, the president not doing anything, Condoleezza Rice not doing anything. All right, and then let's see here. Egypt. The president there, Yusuf Massari or whatever, sent a message saying, a warning, saying that a plane or an embassy was going to be attacked. And that was on September 3rd. So yeah. Oh, and then right before September 11th happened, the hijacker, one of the hijackers called the actual airline to say that his first name was spelled wrong. So he actually called them and said, hey guys, my name's spelled wrong, can you fix it on the flight list? So I guess they fixed it on the flight list, got his name right, and they were in Boston and Maryland, and they were at the ATM, they got photographed a few times. They also got hookers in Boston, which is, it's fairly easy to track who's, you know, using human trafficking or not. And anyways, they also got a speeding ticket, so they were going about 90 miles an hour. And these are, you know, horrible scumbag terrorists who are basically raising a stink. Oh, and then he wired about $7,800 or $7,700 home to his family in advance of the attacks, so at least they'd have money and be taken care of. Then they ate at their favorite restaurant, because, you know, hijackers need to eat their favorite meals. And they also purchased really big knives at Lowe's, and so that they could slit people's throats on the airplane on 9/11. So that's all the stuff that happened. And there's one more thing. The NSA actually got a message on September 10th which was in Arabic or Farsi, and it said tomorrow is 0 day. And they didn't decipher it or get the meaning of it until September 12th. Now, that could have just been they just didn't have time for it, but I mean, you know, with the day's events of September 11th, it's a pretty big thing, but everything leading up to it, it's the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA's job to catch these things in advance. They had them on photographs at ATMs. They had them getting hookers, eating at their favorite restaurants, getting speeding tickets. Hello? Okay, never mind. Changing their name on the flight list. And just nobody did anything about it. And it's just amazing to me. And what this led to, besides Saddam Hussein and drone strikes killing about 500,000 Iraqi civilians, which, you know, that's a pretty big deal because we only lost 9,827 American citizens. And I'm sorry, but 490,000 more people, that's a bigger deal than losing 10,000 Americans. So the Iraqis are way more oppressed by this whole situation than we were. Let's see here. We ended up with 37,952 wounded from this. There was 31,952 wounded on 9/11. And in the wars, and about 6,000 were wounded on 9/11. So yeah, we ended up with 37,952 wounded, which that affects you for your whole life. There's people with smoke inhalation, respiratory asthmatic problems from 9/11, all that other stuff, PTSD. You know, they're going to be remembering, you know, just nightmarish things that we can't even imagine. Well, some of us, I don't know, I was in the Army 5 years. I have had a few nightmares here and there. But anyways, I am an American, and I just wanted to point out all these things because it's important to our freedom in our country. It's important to world freedom. I was watching the North Korean cheerleaders at the Winter Olympics. That was pretty creepy. And yeah, we lost 9,827 Americans since 2001. I know there's been more deaths than that in the country from like the opioid epidemic and everything else. And these are all issues we need to focus on domestically as well. So anyways, I just think that it's important, and I love what Trump's doing. He doesn't seem to be going the George Bush route of using BCCI Bank and the Ronald Reagan route of funding these people, or the Obama route of sending Iran billions of dollars so that they can develop their nuclear arsenal. So anyways, if you like this video, if you're political, you know, anti-New World Order like I am, like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to get back to the America that we were before all this crap happened. And we're going to keep our eyes open for the next one. And we are going to be alert. And it's more than see something, say something. This is, you know, you can tell if somebody's living a certain lifestyle and it follows them day in and day out, and they're anti this or pro that. You can tell. So anyways, I'm not trying to affect the world negatively. I'm just saying, be positive, but also don't be afraid to feel the negative feelings, because it'll help you to be in the positive feelings more genuinely. So anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and please don't fund terrorism. This is Rollo 88 signing out. Oh, and this was a zit, in case any of you is wondering. Bye.